Welcome, everyone. It's that time of the week again for another episode of Inquiring Minds. I'm Hialeah Comic Bro, and as always, I'm accompanied by Conquistadork Javi. Javi, how you doing?
Good, man. Happy to be here. Happy to do another episode of Inquiring Minds. Got to be here, man.
Me too, dude. I think I got that opening down. I got that. I say the same thing every show. I don't even. It's just automatic already.
Yeah, you're just rapid fire right now.
Yeah, I got it on auto. How you been, man?
Good, man. Just living life, taking it easy.
Got a lot of rain today, didn't we? This afternoon, man. It was freaking nuts.
Yeah, surprising how the hurricane kind of just whooshes by Florida, and we're still getting rain and everything like that.
It was nasty this afternoon.
Yeah.
I just want to say a quick shout out to my beautiful, supportive wife. My wife isn't into comics or anything geekdom at all, but guess what? She's hooked on.
Ooh, is it a TV show, maybe?
Kinda. She's hooked on Inquiring Minds.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. She's never watched an episode until like 2 days ago, and now she's like binging them. It's awesome. It's like the other day I walked into the room and she's got her little ear thing and she's seeing it on her phone and she's like, "Shh, I'm listening to Lady F." I'm like, what? So I think that's super cool, man. My wife's a huge supporter of mine, man. Couldn't do any of this without her. But all right, enough of her, my beautiful wife. Love you. Our guest for tonight. Let's bring him in. What's up, first edition?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you guys doing tonight? Leah, Javi, how are you doing?
Good, man. How's everything?
Doing pretty good. Survived this storm. Made landfall a few nights ago. Lost power for a little while, but no big damage. Everybody's safe, and I'm thankful for that. Very blessed for that.
Dude, I love it. You just took my first question. Perfect. Out of the way. Hey, we got some good people here in the chat real quick. Let's shout them out.
Unruly Simeon. What's going on, Unruly Simeon? Bub's Comics. Bub, I hope you're not causing any chaos in the chat.
I think he already is, man. I think he got started early.
Magic Lasso, what's going on, man? Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Immortal Biggie Shack, NWO in the house. What's going on? Everybody else strolling in here. Thanks for watching this on the replay. Anybody else who's like lagging behind, thank you everybody for joining us.
Welcome, everybody. Lady F should only be taken as directed.
Comic Books NYC. Rob Boswell as well is in here. What's up?
What's going on, Javi?
Man, have you been through a lot of hurricanes?
Yeah, a lot.
Really?
Yeah, we had one really bad. It was like 1997, Hurricane Fran, and we were probably out of like power for like 10 days, and like we couldn't get to like where we lived to get like supplies and food or nothing. It was bad.
That was in North Carolina also?
Yeah. So Fran, Irene didn't bother us too bad, and then like a few years ago we had Matthew did a number here, and then we had one back in the 90s, Florence, I believe it is.
Did you have Isaac? Did Isaac hit you guys?
I don't think so.
No. I remember. I think Isaac was right off the coast of Florida, man.
I remember.
Terrified of that one, dude. It was like the size of Florida. Thank God it never made landfall.
Yeah, I remember Florida got hit with what was it, Andrew or something back in the day?
Yeah, bro, man.
Yeah, Andrew was pretty bad for Florida. Yeah.
Andrew changed everything down here, man. It's never been the same. The growth after Andrew was just massive, man, because everybody just like relocated to different areas and they built where there was nothing before. Like right where I'm at now, where we live, Javi, I don't think before Andrew there was nothing out here.
Yeah, I don't think
it was swamp. It was swamp.
Yeah, Bubs.
Bubs, dude.
I don't suck corks, man. I don't drink one. I'm not some snotty nose guy like that. That's geek aficionado.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. This one, thank God, we got lucky. But today they came up with the whole thing that it's going to be the worst ever since 2005. They're saying there's going to be like 5 major ones still coming. Like these next couple of months is going to be, I don't know. Man, I hope not, man. But it just feels like they terrify us with that crap, dude.
Yeah, and they just come one after another, and hopefully it will just kind of dissipate or grow off. But Puerto Rico got hit pretty good on this one too, which they almost always do. So
dude, they're like the buffer for us, and
they're like checks in at Puerto Rico, and decides if it's going up Florida this way or going to the Gulf or whatever. So yeah,
I feel so bad for them, dude. They just hit. I got a couple of friends that live in North Carolina, and they just moved there maybe a few years ago, and it seems like they've gotten more hurricanes in North Carolina than they've gotten in Florida. It's freaking funny.
It always seems like it like makes landfall either like right below us at Myrtle Beach or Charleston, or it just comes in at Wilmington and then comes up. It's, I guess, because that part of the U.S. is kind of like this.
Yeah, it sticks out
a bit.
Yeah,
so I think that's why we always kind of get a lot of landfall stuff. So.
What's up, K Titus? What's up, geeks? What's going on, dude? I was looking at your videos today. You've only been doing YouTube for 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Damn, dude, you're already like almost at 800 subs.
Yeah, and I haven't been my channel, man. I've been not doing a great job keeping up lately, but I've got a lot of plans coming forward. I'm trying to build this comic room out and design it away, and then got some ideas. So, but yeah, I started doing it. I wanted to do it starting end of last year, but started earlier this year, and kind of was doing it by myself for a while and didn't really know anybody in the community, and eventually stumbled upon Kenny, and it kind of went from there, and that's how I kind of started meeting everybody.
Dude, you started blowing up when you got, like, you came out of nowhere, because I was like, who's First Edition? I never even seen his videos. I don't know who this guy is. All of a sudden, he's like,
everywhere,
everywhere, dude.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my followers that I had even before I came, like, started meeting people in the community, they weren't people that really I see now. Like, a lot of them kind of follow me over. Like, you see Beta Ray Jim a lot. He was a subscriber of mine, and he kind of trickled and followed me over into the community. And there's a bunch of other ones that did that too, and they didn't know about the community as well either. They were just following me because I was doing the omnibus thing, and they collected omnibus. So,
nice.
That's kind of how it worked. So, yeah.
Did you know about the community, or you were more for the omnibus, right?
It's funny because I was really interested in the mystery box thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw Comic Jabroni open a mystery box, and it was from '84. So I was like, let me check out this '84 guy. And it happened, I went to his channel, and they were having a auction that night. And so,
okay.
And so I bought something from him, and I bought something from D-Rock as well. And just wound up talking afterwards with Kenny, and we hit it off pretty well and started this bromance with each other. And I was like, hey, dude, you're doing giveaways. Let me send you a Secret Wars 8 to give away next thing, because I want to help give away something. So I was just eager to kind of be part of the community. We just started talking, and eventually him and Big had me on the Power Hour and introduced me to people, and went from there. So
Kenny's okay. Kenny's all right.
All right, yeah.
I feel like he has a couple bromances across the community.
Yeah, he's good. He's good people.
I know Miss G is in love with his eyes. So,
84 boxes were solid. Yeah, man. He was.
He does them right.
Great 84 boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, and that's kind of what led me to find him, and the rest.
What's up, man, Cave? Dude, okay, so when you started with your channel, man, you had that little empty. Did you recently move?
I recently just moved. Yeah, probably like 30 days ago. So
wow, yeah.
What a bitch, right? It's such a bitch to move.
I hate it. And I was on a 3rd floor, man, and now I'm on a 1st floor. I'm in a condo now, but I was on a 3rd floor apartment, man, and it was hell.
It's freaking.
Yeah, when I moved in there, I was like, I'm not doing this again. I don't care what it costs. And I'm kind of a moving company. We boxed everything up and just paid somebody to take it downstairs and put it in the truck. And that was, I took care of the rest, because I was like,
that's how you do it, man. You can't do. I always get somebody. I always hire. Hopefully, I don't have to move for a while, but
yeah,
I always hire somebody, man, and take just the little things. When you started, you had the blank, the empty case in front of you.
Right.
They were all omnibuses.
Yeah.
And you said that you recently got into the hobby. Is that from a hiatus? From how many years were you out?
So I found out about the omnibus game probably a couple of years ago, and I had stopped collecting comics since like 2003 or 4.
Okay.
I grew up in a comic book shop, so my brother-in-law and my sister started dating in high school, and they moved from California to North Carolina, and they brought their comic book shop here. And as he got older, his dad gave him the comic shop, and my sister and him, as they've grown closer together and got married, they started running the comic shop together.
Wow.
And they would do toys and comics and stuff. And so I grew up in that pretty much.
Wow.
And so I was collecting through that because I would just come to the shop and new things would come out, and then I would get issues and things like that, and things would come in the store. And so I did that up until they closed the shop in 99, 2000. And then I kept collecting for a few more years. And then I got kind of really focused in my career and my job. And then I stopped collecting for, man, like I said, almost 15 years.
Wow.
And I would pick up trade paperbacks for a while and books like that. And I got more omnis and stuff here and there. And I just really got, missed reading comics, not necessarily collecting them, but reading them. And so that's kind of what led me to say, okay, I want to keep collecting these because I want to read them, and it'll be a pretty cool hobby to kind of get back into it. That quickly got out of control, and then I was like, man, I miss collecting comic books. And so that's evolved to kind of getting fully back into it at this point.
What happened?
Have you stopped with the omnibuses, or you still kind of collect omnibuses?
I've pretty much stopped with it. I am still collecting absolute editions from DC because that format is beautiful. I think that format works really well for how they pack those story arcs together, and the mappings are a lot better than some of the omnibus mappings. And so I've been sticking to that a little bit more. So,
what happened to the shop?
So late 90s, man, it was really hard to make money selling comic books and selling collectibles in general. I tried to, so I was buying like Pokemon cards and stuff.
Yeah.
And picking up Magic the Gathering and stuff like that. I got really like into collecting Pokemon cards for a long time during that time. And I tried to get them to focus on a lot of, TCG stuff, and they wouldn't do that. They were just stuck in comics. And then late 90s, they were just losing money hand over fist, and they just wound up shutting it down and putting everything in storage.
So they still have a lot of their stuff, or they sold it all?
It's all mine now.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been posting a lot of figures on my Instagram, and
I saw those. Yeah,
we had in storage, and that's like 1/4 of it. I think we have another 5,000 action figures in storage, and then a great bit amount of comics left. And so, but a lot of 90s stuff. And man, I'm telling you, when I say 90s stuff, I mean 90s stuff, like a lot of 90s Vampirella and things like Ghost and Lady Death and Evil Ernie, and just a lot of like crazy independent 90s stuff. I've got some really oddball stuff, man.
Have you gone through it all? You know exactly what you got?
Not yet. We've been pulling stuff out of storage more and more and more. And my problem is I'm buying stuff from other people too. So I bought 3 collections this year. I'm working on a 4th, so that doesn't help either. And so, but I've been going through it. Yeah, I've got a lot of craziness, weird 90s stuff. The cool thing is, like, some of that stuff's got popular now. Like, we had all the Warrior Nun action figures and Warrior Nun books that lead up, and all the spinoffs and stuff. So I got all that stuff. So that's
they just kind of recently rebooted that, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and then the show's out on Netflix. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but seems to be kind of entertaining. People are digging it.
I think the one I'm watching is Umbrella Academy. Bro, it's so good. I freaking love it.
I got to watch season 2 yet. I haven't started it yet.
That's the one I just started. Yeah, it's really freaking good. Dude, so you got into it. How many collections you bought this year?
This is going to be number 4 if I get this other one. So,
and how do you go about buying all these collections? You just people hit you up, or you put out an ad, or
is it locally, or?
Me growing up in the comic shop, I know a lot of the dealers in North Carolina and in the area, and I've got great relationships with them. especially one of the biggest guys in North Carolina, Sheldon Drum. He runs Heroes Con and his shop Heroes. He's known me since I was a little kid. He calls me. He always says he's my mentor when he tells everybody. But when I need books, I can go to him. If he buys a lot of stuff, if it's stuff like, hey, I got too much of this, you want it? Or he'll call me and say, hey, I met this guy. He's got this. Would you want to get it? Because I'm not going to get it. Yeah, a lot of times it's through word of mouth, through folks that I know. So,
dude, that's the one con I really want to go to, man.
It's great, man.
That's what I've heard.
It's entertaining. It's small enough that you can enjoy it, and it's big enough that you get a lot of good stuff in there too. So it's a good kind of in the middle type of con, and it's got, it's been around for a long time. I mean, met some great people there, and it's entertaining, man.
Is that why I've heard this comment a few times? If you need something, if you're looking for something, hit up first.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just know a lot of people, man, and Sheldon's been really good to me too. So Sheldon has a warehouse of about like 2 million comics. I'll send you a video of him doing a tour of his warehouse, and he's at a point now where he's like retiring somewhat. He's like kind of getting out of the game. So he works with me and a bunch of other guys that have been around his shop most of our life, and he's kind of like, okay, you guys need things, I got it for you. And I mean, because you go in a shop, man, if it's like Silver Age or Bronze Age or Copper stuff, you throw a rock at a book you want, he's probably got 7 or 8 of them. So
wow,
it's kind of like that. So I mean, most of the people in the chat here I've talked to, they, I've got things for them from there and other places as well too. And it's always good to find really good people you can trust that can provide things like that at a reasonable, price too. So.
Yeah, it seems like the weather's still affecting everybody's stuff, at least here on the East Coast. I guess we're okay. Dude, so you started off with omnibuses.
Mm-hmm.
You bought something from Kenny, and now you're a freaking chat king, because I look at, not a chat, an auction. You're on every fucking person's auction, dude.
You guys were in an auction together, weren't you?
Yeah.
On Kenny's channel.
But I've seen him on everybody's. It's like, I think you everybody that's doing auctions.
Yeah, I've done like Thoreau's auction. I've done Brokers, Hoodats, consistently do metas, do 84s a lot. So yeah, I did that one with 84, and kind of the bug bit me, and it's like, hey, I got a lot of these books, and I can just turn them over for things that I want. And so it helped me kind of realize that I can just let this fund itself. And so that's why I'm constantly grinding so that way I can get the books I want to get. So.
Dude, I got that bug too now. Oh my God.
Yeah, make it just like you got that stuff sitting there, and even if it's something you collected for your PC, you're like, okay, I've achieved that. I'm okay with letting this go because now here's what's in my target. So,
dude, I had the hardest time coming to that, man. I've been talking to Javi about, hey, man, I think I'm gonna sell. And I always thought it was like, dude, I can't let go of my stuff, And dude, finally, I started eBay, and that got me hooked. And then I've been talking to Kenny for like a month. Hey, next auction. And every time he has an auction, I'm either out of town or I can't. So when I saw he was doing this, I hit him up, and it's like, I'm looking more at the stuff I could sell than the stuff I could buy. Is that crazy?
That's the hard thing about collecting, is like trying to like zero in what you want to have in your PC is a hard thing. Like, it's so easy to like get and want everything. It's hard to figure out, okay, this is what I want my PC to be. And that's something everybody's kind of challenged with all the time, man.
I was all over the place getting stuff, and now I am super focused. I already know what I want.
Right.
And dude, I've knocked out 3 books that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I still haven't got 2 of them. I got one, and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe I have this book. And I'm just thinking the books that are coming, it's like, dude, it's awesome. And I didn't spend any money except the money that I've made from other books, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's a good feeling to kind of just turn that money over and get what you want out of it, right? And not have to come out of your pocket for it, or dig in your savings to get a book that you've been after for a while. It's a good feeling. So that's kind of why I keep doing it. So
especially if it's a big book too.
Yeah.
You go to a lot of shops. How do you get the stuff that you're gonna sell?
I got one main shop that I go to. I get a lot of stuff from Sheldon. I got a lot of stuff in my store stock. And then I got maybe one or two other shops I bounce around here and there. So another guy that has a shop I buy stuff from, he started kind of selling when I started selling. And so he kind of was doing shows and doing stuff like that. So he buys in mass volume. Mm-hmm. And so I've kind of learned to do that too. Mm-hmm. When he gets stuff in, I'll do the same thing and buy from him. So you'll be surprised that you can walk into an LCS and buy a bunch of wall books and walk out of there with them 25, 30, 35% off what they got the price on the wall. So
when you're buying in bulk.
When you're buying in bulk, yeah.
And you work out a deal and stuff. And
yeah, you go in there and say, hey, I'm taking all this, but I'm going to pay this.
Yeah.
You put the cash on the table, 9 times out of 10, dude, they're not letting you walk out of there with that money.
Because shops need it, man.
How long have they had those books there up there on the wall, just sitting there?
And I try to ask them, just, hey, man, knock $20, $30 off the book for me, $40, and, make your money. So that's a very useful way of doing it. And I'll try to, go in and take something from somebody at prices, and they're not going to make money, but just you work a little deal with me and I'll give you cash, and we're both happy. So
dude, that's awesome, dude. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I know what I want, and I'm just looking. I'm like, okay, what can I sell? And I'll go through a box. All right, can I put this together and let's see what happens? And I had a blast on Kenny, man, and I can't thank him enough, dude, because now I got the bug.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna be like you, jumping on and everybody's.
Stay exclusive, man. Stay exclusive to 84. So
yeah, I think so.
Where to find you.
Yeah.
And there might be an auction coming up on my channel soon. So
there you
go. We might be trying something out. We'll see how that goes. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm planning to do the same thing, man. I think I'm going to start doing a monthly auction on my channel, like a super sale, and I'm just going to stack up a bunch of stuff and preview it throughout the month, and then just auction it off at like under GPA prices. So
yeah.
Dude, that's nuts, bro.
Community prices.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So what is Sheldon? Do they all know you're on YouTube? And
yeah, he watches sometimes. He watches the auctions sometimes, things like that too. Yeah.
Has he bought from you?
He's never bought from me, but we've traded. He definitely trades from me a lot because I buy different things and things that I buy some things intending to trade with him because he's got things that he's got at his house he's not willing to let go. And so I have to stack up things. I was like, okay, he wants this, and this. And they're like, hey, look what I just got. And then we'll just kind of make a deal in a trade. So we trade a lot with each other. So,
dude, you work with omnibuses, and now I know what you're into now. I think a lot of people know. Mm-hmm. What are you into now with what kind of books are you getting?
Actually, lately I've been buying Westerns a lot. Which is kind of different. Yeah. So like Golden Age Western books.
Nice.
Atlas, mostly Atlas right now. I've been picking up a lot of different Western stuff there. Been focused in on that. I've collected horror for quite a while because I had a whole lot of it that I had back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I've been kind of selling some of that off and still focused really on Batman right now. My goal is to complete Batman 1 through 10. And I'm getting closer. So that's a real focus point for me.
Batman 1 through 10.
Yeah.
I just made a deal on an 11. I'll have it. Hopefully, I'm hoping it'll be here Friday for the hunt. We'll see.
For the hunt. That's a good book for the hunt.
Yeah.
What's up, Reggie? Man, I didn't expect that either. I didn't expect Westerns.
Yeah, dude. It's like I love Kirby a lot. So Kirby's like one of my favorite. And when I saw these Rawhide kit covers that Kirby did, I I was immediately like, man, this is pretty badass. And then I started reading them, and I actually started having a lot of fun with it. So I started getting it, and the Two Gun Kid and Ringo and all these other kind of tie-ins that they built in the arts. Most arts, that I've been collecting is a lot of Kirby stuff. Yeah. And so it fits in that space really well. And I find that for some reason you can buy those at better prices too, because Western books a lot of times are really beat up. People used to read those things a lot, fold them up, put them in their pocket. Back in the day, they're not one of those books a lot of times that people were trying to keep in pristine condition. So you can find them at good prices, man. And some really good books, and some of the older ones go for a pretty good price. So
I'm actually I have one that came back, and it's a Western. I think it's I got like 2 or 3 Westerns, and it's actually coming back from CGC. I can't wait to get that in my possession.
Yeah. And for me too, me being Native American, I like Native American covers, of course. And so you can find most of those in the Western genre. So that's why I target that a lot too. So
wait a second. You're Native American?
Yes, I'm Native American. Correct.
Because that's the impression that everybody has.
I'm extremely racially ambiguous. So people usually don't know what I am.
You could go for Latin, man. You could pass for Latin.
Man, I can't tell how many times people would come up to me and speak Spanish to me, and I just tell them back in Spanish, I don't speak Spanish.
And then they get offended.
Yeah. Man, when I went down, my buddy lives in Puerto Rico. He lives in Toa Baja, and I'd go down there and stay with him a lot. And man, every time I go down there, people are just like, they always tell him, I've never met a Puerto Rican that doesn't speak Spanish. And that's what they would always tell me. I'm like, I'm not Puerto Rican.
So, see, I thought you were Arab. So you're Native American? I'm
Native American, correct.
What tribe or what?
The Lumbee tribe of North Carolina. So my tribe is a descendant of Croatan Indians. Croatan Indians are kind of with the lore and story of, have you ever heard of the Lost Colony?
Of course, yeah. What was it, James?
Yeah, Jamestown. Yeah.
Right.
So the tribal natives in that kind of story is my descendants. They're all from eastern North Carolina up to like the coast of Virginia. And so my tribe and like Carolina Chris's tribe and a few others were all kind of like pockets of that bigger one. So.
Oh, dude, that is freaking.
Did you grow up in that culture, like going to powwows?
Absolutely. Like I'm very like tied to, and that's another reason why I'm going to move back home, is to kind of be more involved with like tribal like efforts and things going on, and like I've been very part of like powwows. I used to be in them and drum as a kid, and I used to go to a lot of the events. We used to go out to New Mexico and go to like the Gathering Nations where all the tribes come together in this big giant week-long powwow, which is really cool.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
So, I've been heavily involved with it for quite a long time. So
I had to take a music history class, and we learned about all that, like that Native American music and the drums, how you mentioned the drums, and they go all out on the dancing too.
Oh yeah, big time, man.
Yeah.
It's like a big party, man. They just big party all day long, dancing and hanging and drinking.
The stick game that they play too. Bones or something. I don't know exactly what it's called. Yeah.
Dude, it is. It's a really cool culture. It's really different. I love being entrenched in it and being around my people and seeing them progress. And it's good stuff. It's very good stuff.
That's awesome.
Were you offended? How do you think about the whole Washington Redskins and all that? Was that offensive?
Not to me. I'm not a very sensitive person. I don't think, to me, that's any worse than watching Peter Pan and they have a whole song, "What Makes the Red Man Red?" Mm-hmm. It's a lot of stuff, and it doesn't offend me. Like, I have Native American friends, it's like, we can't, like, I call myself an Indian, a lot of others call it Indian, but when I introduce myself to people, I say Native American so they don't get confused, right?
Right.
But to us, we'll call each other that, right? But I got friends that are like, we need to be known as First Nations and Native Americans because they want to be very PC about it, but it doesn't bother me at all. I think if someone walked up to my face and called me an question. It wasn't even. I'd probably laugh that they said that. It's not offensive to me, and it's like, there's other things that be more offensive in that regard to me than that. So yeah, the Redskin thing doesn't bother me.
Cool. I was just wondering because it's been in the news, man. They don't even have a name and all that, dude. So okay, the wrestling. I gotta get to that, dude. I thought you were Arab, dude. I swear to God.
It works, man.
But you're actually into wrestling, though, man. You like fit right in.
Yeah. I right out of high school, a guy had a school called Ring Time Pro Wrestling. It's the first school I went to, and went to the school. Those guys really, I didn't know, but they just really weren't like equipped to train people correctly.
Yeah.
This guy used to do dark matches for WWE back in the day. And basically what that is, he'd come in before the show. He would come in, get beat up for a guy that's popular, that's on TV to help promote him and look good, right? Just come in and be a jobber. And so he started a school later on, and I went in and they taught me things the wrong way, and I got hurt a lot and all kinds of stuff. And I just kind of.
How old were you? I
was 18 or 19 when I first did it. So then I stopped. And then later, much later, probably like 7 years later, I went back to a different school of a guy that was actually on TV. He used to wrestle in WCW called the Maestro. Robert was in the tail end of WCW, had this nice feud with Ernest the Cat Miller, and James Brown came in. It was this big promotion thing. And his career was like a little blip right here in WCW. But he started a school in Jacksonville, North Carolina. And so I went there, and Robert trained me, and I started wrestling after then. At that point, when I was 18, my goal was to become a wrestler. At that point, I just wanted to kind of just do it to say I did it, because I wanted to, just say, hey, I did it and be a part of it. And then I did it for several years after that. So just kind of wrestled on the indie circuit, met a lot of cool people, got to wrestle people I saw on TV as a kid.
Are you serious? Like cool.
Al Snow, got to wrestle him. Got to wrestle Ricky Steamboat, George South.
You've wrestled Ricky Steamboat?
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, Ricky Steamboat was a badass.
Yeah,
bro.
I was in a tag team match with him and Ivan Koloff. He was really old by this time.
Ivan Koloff, the Russian Bear?
Yeah, he was really old by this point, but he was still wrestling like a lot of guys do past their prime. And
How tall was he?
Ivan's really short, man. Like I'm like 5'11", and he was like he was stout.
He was
wide.
He would be a perfect puck.
Yeah.
He would be a perfect puck, dude, because I know he was short, and he would wear those big boots. Dude, yep. He looked like a badass, bro, and he would do the Russian bear hug and all that crap.
But dude, he's the nicest guy ever, dude. He would go out and do shows and then donate his money to charity.
Oh, wow.
He would like go and do all this stuff like at the Walmarts around here and like promote and just get money for different charities and stuff like that. He was like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, man.
He wasn't
passed away.
Canadian or something, right?
I don't know what he really was, but he's a lot of the guys in North Carolina, even my trainer, Robert, was trained by him. A lot of guys broke into business because he broke them in. So wow, a lot of guys.
Dude, I loved him, bro. He used to be, who was it? His tag partner, and they were like the Russians.
Yeah, him and Nikita. Yeah.
Nikita Koloff, right?
Yeah, Nikita's still in Charlotte. He lives in Charlotte. Doesn't do anything but go to shows and stuff. Doesn't really train anybody. But yeah, he's still around. So when Lex Luthor kind of had his issue where he kind of got real frail and got sick and stuff, Lex stayed with him for a while, but now Lex is back up in Buffalo, New York. So, but yeah, Nikita's he's a really nice guy too. So,
did you find them pretty much all to be pretty cool, or there had to be some dicks just like everywhere else, right?
Yeah, there are some. The guys I met were all pretty cool. As far as like the old guys, I ran into a lot of pricks that I wound up actually wrestling. They're local guys. I ran into a lot of those. So
you guys, it was scripted, right? You guys would talk during the match.
Yeah. So the way we wrestle on the independent is a different style than what you see on TV.
Right.
So on TV, you know, they have agents, like old, like retired wrestlers that are now called producers, but they're really agents. They'll sit down with two talents and or whoever's in a match, and they'll go through the match with them. So they go over spot by spot by spot by spot. The old school style of wrestling and how I was taught, it's really, you know, so if I'm wrestling you tonight and you're the guy that's been around for a while and I'm a new guy, I'm going to come to you, introduce myself, shake your hand, and ask you, what do you want to do tonight? The promoter will tell us who's going over, who's winning, me or you. But then I ask you, and then a lot of times the guy who's got seniority will say, okay, well, tell me about some of your stuff. What do you do? Da, 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 da. And we'll basically discuss how the match will start and then how the match will end.
Yeah.
And when you go to the ring, the guy who's, you know, got the seniority, he calls the match. So you listen to him. So you'll get in the ring, you'll do your opening, just like you said, and then you listen. And so he calls a spot, okay, bum, 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 and then you follow along. That's kind of how it works. So we would call spots in the ring. And one thing you don't do is, like I said, if you're not the lead guy, not the guy with seniority, you don't call spots. You get your head knocked off. So there's a lot of respect.
Did you ever make that mistake?
I never made that mistake, but I had an older guy try to take advantage of me before, and we had to stop the match. He told me, you know, let's go out there and do this, this, and this. We got out there, and he grabs my head, and he calls a spot, says tackle drop down Japanese. So what that means is he's going to take me out of headlock. I'm going to give him 2 shots in the side, push him off to the ropes. He's going to give me a shoulder block. I'm going to float over. He's going to get up, and then I'm going to give him a Japanese arm drag. In 3 words, he told me all that. So that's kind of how you communicate that really fast. It's all short code kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and so we go for that spot. When I go down and get back up, he comes and does something different. He basically clotheslines me in my throat. Doesn't even lay it in my chest safely so I can bump off of it. He hits me right in my trachea, and I can barely breathe. I'm like, okay, maybe you made a mistake. So I kind of powder to the corner, and that's what a lot of guys do. You'll lead yourself to the corner so you can open yourself up, and he'll come work on you. So I did that, and then he starts like punching me, but punching me for real, like laying it into me like really snug. And then so I got mad, dude, and just went off on the guy and just started punching him. And I slammed him on the ground and started really choking him. My trainer was there, and by then he knew I was not working the match anymore. And they just called it and come out. Yeah, I almost killed the guy in the ring by choking him out because I just kind of lost my cool with him because he was kind of disrespecting me. So
yeah,
you have stuff like that, and your trainers will teach you things. So if a guy takes advantage of you, how to stretch him out. Because a lot of those older guys will try to put you in moves and make you tap out or lose consciousness just because they want to do it to you. So sometimes it gets very, very, very real. So
fucking bullies, bro. Basically,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, they will.
Did you ever have to slice your forehead or anything like that?
I bladed myself one time. Only once.
Where did you have the razor? Is it a razor or?
Yeah, it's a razor. I didn't make my own gimmick. Somebody else made it because I didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
Referee gave me mine. So a lot of guys want to put it in their hip or in their jaw or whatever else. I was too.
In their jaw?
Yeah, in their jaw. Yeah, they'll put it in the back of their jaw. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Or put it in their tights. I didn't want to do it. So the ref gave me mine. So
during the match.
Yeah. So he knew the spot that I was going to blade myself, and then he gave it, just put it in my hand. I bladed myself. He took it out of my hand, put it back in his pocket. So the ref is really, really important key to most of the matches. So
they are key.
Yeah, they know what the spots are, like who's going to win, who's going to lose, kind of what the big things are, what they should see, what they shouldn't see.
Yeah,
they're kind of if you're going too long, they'll let you know, or somebody's in the back's like, go home, finish the match. She'll tell you. That kind of thing.
Were you ever in televised matches?
No, just local events that were recorded. I got matches on YouTube, but not on
nice.
TV.
Do you really? You got them on YouTube?
Yeah, there's some on YouTube from some of the promotions I wrestled with. Yeah.
You haven't shared that, have you?
Kenny's seen one. Yeah,
All
but I
right.
haven't shared it quite widely yet. No.
We're gonna talk after the show. I gotta see it. I gotta see when that's got.
My gimmick was an Arab gimmick, so I did the whole Sheik thing in the ring. That was my gimmick, so that's why I play around with that. So,
Dude, you got it down, dude. You're a freaking Iron Sheik. What was your name? What was your name? What you go like?
my name was Akbar Muhammad. Was my wrestling name.
It's pretty badass, dude.
Yeah, I did. I did the whole thing. Like I had. At first, I didn't have much gear, but then later I got gear. I got a prayer rug and everything. So I would clear the ring out, put my prayer rug down, do the whole prayer, dude. And it would be so loud in there when I'm doing it, people screaming and yelling. I mean, I live in the South, so you can imagine the kind of things I heard. You yelled at me.
Did you ever wrestle in PA in Pennsylvania?
No, no. I wrestled only in the South pretty much. Yeah.
You always kept it as your gimmick, right? You never kind of took anything personal or
no. No. I heard people, take your oil and go back home.
Yeah.
This, that, and the third. And a lot of times I had to try not to laugh, but but no, I never took it. Yeah, it was easy heat too. Yeah, very easy. I remember when one of my first matches I had. My first match is actually on YouTube. It's horrible. It's horrible. And Kenny, that's the one Kenny saw as my first match. Because if I wanted to show him something later, it was better. He was like, "Okay, you got better." Yeah, I got instant heat because I won that match. The one I got scared about the most, though. So I live in a military town here near Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg's here in Fayetteville. We did a 4th of July celebration at a local baseball game. It was me versus this kind of all-American hero type guy versus an Arab, and it was a flag versus flag match. And I wound up winning and beating the crap out of the guy, and he bladed himself. And we went the whole thing. Like I beat the crap out of him, bleeding everywhere. Dude, I thought I was going to get murdered. And this was on the 4th of July. Dude, my promoter, I was like, "You sure you want to do this on 4th of July?" I was like, "Yeah." And it drew because like the very next week, man, we sold out our seats at our show because people showed up to see this guy wrestle me again.
Dude, that's awesome.
But dude, I was scared shitless, dude. They put me to the back, had a van, got me out of there. And I was like, "I live in this town. I can't even go to Walmart for next couple of days."
That is great, though, man. You're awesome, though.
Yeah, and I would never speak English. Like I would just like talk gibberish. And people just took it as another language. And so I didn't think I even spoke English. I said, stuff like that, and people thought I was speaking a different language around. And it would work. People like bought it, man. So I was by the ring, like swing at people on the side and stuff. They were just scared of me.
Did you have people? Did they throw shit at you? Did you ever get
especially in that 4th of July show, they were throwing drinks, everything, chairs, everything at me, dude. They started tossing everything in the ring, hot dogs, whatever, everything.
That is fucking classic, man. That was classic. Who's the toughest guy? Is it the toughest guy you ever wrestled? Was it somebody popular that we might know, or like how was Ricky?
Well, there's a guy that used to wrestle. He's in AEW now. He used to wrestle in WWE as Scott Dawson. So thing about David and me, we both trained together with Maestro. And so he's a tag team wrestler now, but that guy is probably one of the toughest dudes I ever wrestled. When he hits you, he lays it in. He works what we call stiff, like a lot of his forearm shots, punches, kicks. He gives that extra kind of oomph to it because he hits you as hard as he can without like making sure you're in pain, but you're going to feel it. And he's probably one of the toughest dudes I ever wrestled. He's a really good guy. I'm happy he made it to WWE and he's living his dream, man. And he's worked really hard for it. So he's probably one of the toughest dudes.
How old are you now?
I'm 36 now. So.
You still feel the effects?
No, I never really had many injuries. I've had a concussion before in the ring. I got kicked in the back of the head pretty hard.
Oof.
What did you do? What did you do? Did you continue the match, or how did that happen?
Yeah. I mean, it was close to the end of the match anyway. I like grabbed the guy's leg, and he was doing what is called an enziguri kick. And he's supposed to go over and kick me in the head. I'm supposed to go down with him, but they kick you in in kind of the neck area, and not with like the tip of their foot, but like the kind of cuff of your foot.
Yeah.
It just kind of like does like that. And he misjudged, and the tip of his toe hit me like right in the back of the head. And I was kind of out of it for a minute, and the ref was checking me, and we kind of finished it. He was his finisher was an elbow drop, so the ref goes up to me because he knows I'm kind of like, having some issues, and he kicks my arms in, so that way when he jumps off and does the elbow drop on me, he doesn't break my arms, because you got to bring your arms in. So he comes and kicks my arms in, so that won't happen. And it was, I was kind of out of it for a while. That's probably the only injury I ever had, thankfully. So.
Dude, thank God. Not even your back. Your back doesn't bother you. I would think the back or your knees would be like the worst.
No, not at all. Taking a bump is not as bad. I mean, you're very, very sore the next day, but it's not that bad.
But you train, so you're kind of
you train. I mean, you can hurt yourself really bad. The thing with taking bumps is they teach you how to fall to tuck your chin. That's the key. If you fall and back flap bump and you don't tuck your chin, you're going to hit your head. You're going to get a concussion. So they teach you that, and that's really that repetitive motion. You just getting it kind of in the flow of it after time. And
all right, I'm going to ask the
no flips off the top rope or anything.
Not me.
You weren't a high flyer. You weren't a Rey Mysterio.
Whoa. I was a ground guy. I wasn't no high flyer. Never.
What was the finishing move? What was your finishing move? What was
your clutch submission? Yeah, just camel clutch. Yeah.
Camel clutch?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. I was more just like a brawler, man.
Yeah.
Ground and pound guy, submission guy. That's kind of what my style was. I never did the high flying stuff. I mean, I've got thrown out of the ring over the ropes before and stuff like that. I've been at a promotion where the ropes have snapped.
Wow.
That's happened a lot too.
Really?
The thing is with WWE, man, they replace their ropes a lot, right? But if you're working with these guys that are running their own show, they have one ring and one pair of ropes. So they're going every Saturday setting up, doing stuff. And so tighten those ropes for the match and then untighten them over and over, get to a point where they snap. Right. And so that's another thing they teach you when you're running the ropes is you don't really lean back on the ropes. You kind of bounce off of them quickly and keep moving. John Cena, if you watch him, go watch a video of him running the ropes, and he runs the ropes the way they tell you not to. He leans on them. If you'll watch him, when he leans back, he kicks one of his legs up because he's putting his whole weight on the ropes.
Yeah, to get that swing back.
Yeah. And so that's the way they teach you not to do that, because if you do that and it snaps, you're taking a back dive right to the floor. And I've seen it happen, man. It's crazy.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Probably Bret the Hitman Hart, because he probably had the most influence on me. Nice. His style of wrestling just fit really well, and I loved it. And I loved his style. I loved his matches. He's probably, to me, one of my favorite of all times.
Who do you think's the best?
Oh,
does it have to be your favorite?
Yeah, I bounce back and forth with that all the time. For me, it's probably Ric Flair, because I think Hogan and Flair to me are like this. Mm-hmm. I just think Flair edges it out a little bit just because he had everything Hogan had, but came at a different time, but had more capabilities to do, better matches. I mean, he had matches with Ricky Steamboat that were hour long.
Yeah.
Hogan never went that long.
No.
But Hogan drew the most money, and Hogan –
yeah,
he was without him. So
yeah, Hogan was a phenomenon. He was more than just a wrestler. He was just a freaking runaway freight train as far as wrestling, dude. Everybody in the world knew who he was, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think he's still right up there at the top with me, but I just edge Flair out just a little bit.
I would have to give it to Flair as well.
Yeah, he's done, man. He's done a lot.
Bro, just the promos, man. Just the promos, the swag, the airplanes, just this whole gimmick, dude. And God, I hate it, dude.
People don't like know the old Jim Crockett NWA stuff with Flair a lot. A lot of people think of Flair in WWE or in WCW. You gotta just go on YouTube, and if you haven't seen it, go watch one match with Ric Flair versus Steamboat, preferably one of the hour-long matches they did, and you'll see why I say what I say. That's if you've never seen his old matches with Steamboat, you're in for a treat.
Man, I used to watch Florida wrestling, championship wrestling from Georgia.
Yeah.
TBS. That was every Saturday night, and that's where Flair was just fucking phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
He had the long flowing. What is the? Oh my god!
Yeah, the long like blonde hair and
the feathered hair and all that, dude.
And the big robes and stuff.
Bro, I hated his guts, man. I hated him and the Freebirds.
God. Oh, yeah, Michael P. Hayes and Terry Gordy and all those guys.
Terry Gordy, I hated those guys, but they were so good, dude.
Yeah, they're great team. Great team all the way around, man.
They were so good, man. Yeah, Steamboat was massive as well, dude.
So did you ever go to any of Billy Graham's promotion or Eddie Graham's promotion down in Florida?
I only went and I saw one at the Miami Convention Center, and Dusty was there.
Yeah, Dusty, yeah.
The Road Warriors showed up. Thing was massive, man.
Yeah. Dusty was their booker for a long, long time too. He did a lot in that promotion. Made it really big.
I think Dusty's my favorite all-time wrestler, man. I just loved him, dude. The son of a plumber, and the way he talked, dude. He was the best. He didn't look like a wrestler, like, but I freaking loved him. The best part with Buddy Rogers, hell yeah, it was a fight, but he took it to a whole different level, Mastodon.
Billy Graham back then, man, too. He was big in Florida, and he's like a big dude, man.
Dude, superstar Billy Graham, yeah, he was freaking huge. There used to be this guy too, Mr. Wrestling number 2.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I knew you talking.
With a mask. I look at YouTube videos of the old time wrestling. That's what I really love.
Yeah, me too.
And I look at those and it's like, dude, this guy's maybe nothing. You know, the guy looked like he was like in his 50s back then, and he was a badass.
Yeah.
He would get everybody. When I was a kid, it looked so freaking real. But he would hit everybody with like a knee.
Mm-hmm.
He had like a knee, and he would like size him up in the corner, and then he'd come up with a knee, and I'd be like, how does that knock anybody out, bro?
The funny thing is, like, one of the most, always, everybody's got like hometown heroes and things like that. For my tribe, our biggest kind of celebrity is Tatanka. Tatanka his tribe is mine. So he's from Pembroke, North Carolina. Wow. He's part of my tribe. Chris Javis is Lumbee like I am. So he's kind of our, I guess, superstar for the tribe.
Man, you associate with somebody like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Back in the day, there was a wrestler called Chief Wahoo McDaniel, and he was freaking huge back because he was like an ex-Dolphin player.
Yep,
he was massive.
My grandfather was a huge Wahoo fan. When I was a kid, the first wrestling show I came to, Wahoo was there, and my grandpa, well, he was a big drinker, and I remember going there, and Wahoo was getting the crap beat out of him at the match and bleeding everywhere. My grandpa jumped the guardrail and got arrested.
Your grandfather?
Yeah, because he was back then. He just believed it was real. We went up to the show. He had been drinking all day long.
Yeah,
we watched the show, and then we're in Native American country, and the Native American is getting the crap beat out of him, dude. He just like, nope, not going to let it happen.
But what did he do to get arrested, though?
He jumped the barricade, was going to go in the ring and fight, and the security guards got him. And arrested him. Yeah,
dude, that's nuts, bro.
Yeah. He was out, and not too much long. Yeah, too much fire water. Exactly. He was a big moonshine drinker, man, and he would drink moonshine behind the house all day long. The guy was like 6 foot. I wish I got his genetics, man. He was like 6'9", like 350, but just like solid, man.
Yeah,
he could have played football or something, man. But he was this big dude. And I remember when he passed away, man, how many pallbearers they had to have for the guy. He was massive. He was absolutely massive. I was like, man, I wish I got his genes.
What an awesome memory, dude. He got arrested going to save Wahoo.
Yeah. He's the one who introduced me to wrestling. So, yeah.
Dude, the wrestler, I'm not a fan of his. Well, I am a fan of his, not so much as a wrestler. It's more for the movies. Is Batista, because my last name is Batista.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, it's like, is he you related to Batista?
Yeah.
He's my brother. He's my cousin. Or,
Hialeah, you got some masks, man. You have some lucha masks.
I got the lucha mask. I got the lucha.
Yeah, man.
Man, I'm lucha.
Yeah, there you go.
I haven't been on with you though during the wrestling gimmick, man.
Have you been on the hunt yet? Have you
Oh, I've been on the hunt. I think once when it was like a variety show, and I've helped 90 go hunting, getting ready for the hunt. And I think I've been on the cover. I've done the cover, and I went up against Tony.
been? Okay.
And I think the next time I think I lost because Tony changed. I love Tony, man, but he changes the rules right before the fucking show. I had all these fucking books ready and all this. And how
In
about
the hunt, man, there are no rules. That's what I'm saying.
Tony's dirty? You guys don't know, man. Dude, that's a great show, but it's a lot of stress on that show, man.
Yeah. You gotta come back, man. You gotta make a return.
I was thinking about it the other day. Yeah, bro. What's up, D Libre? Yeah. Libre. Kenny gave me that name, Lucha. It was Kenny. But yeah, that show's awesome, man. It's just that show's it's pretty stressful. You've been on a few times now, man. And just
I've been on there like 7 times, 8 times now. Yeah. I try to be on there every time. Yeah.
Nice.
God, dude, you're a regular.
Yeah. I'm a regular now, man. I love it. First time I was on there, dude, I fell in love with it. It was so much fun. It was a good outlet to just kind of get that kind of wrestling stuff out. And so I was scared I was going to be too brutal with people because, but I just let loose. And, Tony's like, it's late night. You can drop some F-bombs. I'm like, cool.
Whatever you want, dude. And you can't offend anybody because everybody's saying the same crap to you. So fuck it.
Yeah.
Dude, we got a lot of great people in the chat today, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I beat Tony. There are no rules.
That's the number one rule.
Yeah, Vincent K. McSands. Yeah, dude, he changes the rules right before the fucking show, dude.
I want to share something pretty interesting. I've been waiting to share this.
Right.
I feel like this would be a good time to do it.
Yeah,
So my brother-in-law, as I was telling you, he kind of is the one that started this infectious disease I call comics now, that takes over my life and I love so much. Unfortunately, last November, he had a stroke in his eye. He couldn't see out of one of his other eye at all, and he had retina damage. So the next day he couldn't see anything. One of his eyes, he could see kind of a cloud, and if you were like standing behind him, he could see kind of like your silhouette, but beyond that, he couldn't. And he's been kind of in a really deep, dark place ever since. He's loved comics and he draws really good. We've been working with an eye center that's worked closely with him, and they tried this new thing with him where they developed a lens for his eye. Wow. And they built this custom lens, and it took weeks. And his doctor is like, every doctor we went to said, you're never going to see again. There's nothing I can do. And this guy's like, I can make him see again. And he built this lens, and he got it a few weeks ago. Now he can see out of one of his eyes.
Wow. That's incredible.
And it broke my heart, man, because it's like my niece called me on the phone when it happened, and she's like, she was crying, and she's like, Dad's never going to be able to see me grow up or graduate or do this or that. It was heartbreaking, man. And so now he can see again. And so he's out collecting comics with me and doing stuff. And I've been pushing him to draw because he can draw really good. And his hand's not steady and his vision's not good, but he's still doing it. And he just come over to my house the other day and was like, look, I made a drawing for you.
Let's see it, dude.
I finally got the courage to draw a little bit. And I was happy. So he made this little card for me. So we play this card game online sometime. They let each other Hearthstone from Blizzard.
Yeah.
Together. It's pretty fun. He made this Batman card for me. And this is his first time drawing, being able to see. And, he can draw even better than this, man. But this is his first opportunity since he's been able to see to draw something. And he made this for me. So I thought that was really, really cool.
That's awesome,
bro.
Yeah, and he loves it, man. He loves it. I bought him some blank covers now. He didn't even understand the whole concept of sketch covers.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get him to build up the courage to do a couple of covers just to show and have in his collection, dude. So,
Dude, that is awesome, bro.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible, man. Yeah.
You said that happened to him in November?
in November, yeah.
So it's fairly recent, man. He's still recovering from that, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't go fast. But who was it that helped him make the
So
lens?
we went to Duke Hospital at Duke's research facility here in Durham, North Carolina, and there's an eye center there, and this guy, he does like crazy stuff. Like when people get in accidents and their retina gets detached from their eyes, he'll reattach them and do all kinds of stuff. This guy's a crazy eye surgeon, man. He's like, I know I can help him. And we went to probably 7 or 8 physicians, and every one of them, eye doctors, and they were like, there's nothing we can do. What he can see now is what he can see. And this guy told us the day we went there with him that I don't know how much vision I can give him back, but I know I can give him something. And so he's at a point now, dude. He's like just a few points under from being able to see to drive. That's how big of a difference it is. It's mind blowing. It is mind blowing. The kind of technology that's out now. They built this, and it's very uncomfortable. It's this big lens that goes over his whole eye. And they have to use this little suction cup thing to put it on his eye every morning and everything else. And it's very uncomfortable, he says, but it's crazy how far things have come along, man. And yeah, I've been wanting to share that, and I figured it would be a good thing to show.
Did you frame it, or did he get it framed for you?
I framed it. When he gave it to me, it's such a like integral part of my life.
Yeah.
And gave me something I love dearly. It means a lot to me. This is that now that he can see this is the first thing he drew, and he wouldn't do it, man. I've been begging him for weeks. I was like, you should draw again because you love to draw, and I don't want you to forget what you loved. Like spend some time to do it. No, I can't do it, man. I can't. Like he didn't have confidence to do it because he has to hold things up to his eye to look, to read sometimes. So like, he just didn't think he could do it.
Has he seen it framed?
No, he hasn't seen it framed yet. Yeah, I'm going to show it to him.
Is that going in your comic book room once you get it all set up? And
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome. That's a great story. Do you see him coming out of that dark place?
Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do. Like he was so in a dark place, man, that like I went to his house and like took all his guns and ammo out.
Yeah.
Like, he had a couple of handguns and stuff like that. Not saying he would do anything, but I've never in my life seen him where he was. Never. But I can't imagine being able to live your own life, drive, spend time with your family, and then in an instant you wake up and you can't see anymore. So
Dude,
I don't know how I would process that. So.
Dude, I had a cornea transplant on this eye.
Oh man.
I had this thing called keratoconus.
Yeah, it's where your eyes kind of like wave like that.
Where it goes like this. It's like a point. You could actually, I would go like this, and you could look at me, and my cornea, instead of my eyeball being round, it'd be sticking out like that.
Wow.
10 years ago. So they put cadaver cornea, and it was like, dude, it was like 20 something stitches. I still have stitches embedded in my eye. I see better out of that eye than I do out of the other one, dude. Wow. It's crazy the stuff they do, dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. Like a lot of times to read, I'll have to close my normal eye, and I could see everything perfect. And with this one, look, I'm doing it now. I can't read. I could see the names, but I can't read the comments. But with this one, it's crazy the stuff that they do. And that was 10 years ago, so I can't imagine that, dude. But God bless them. I'm glad you're there for him.
Yeah, man.
Man.
I'm so I work in IT, man. I'm like just so obsessed with IT. As soon as it happened, dude, I was like, I'm going to change everything in his house to make sure that his life's easier. So I went and bought Alexa and Alexa hub for every room, everything that had like a switch on it or power. I put one of the little Alexa voice activated like connectors. I grabbed his microwave and all his appliances that I could buy and got the ones that were Alexa enabled, so he could microwave, he could cook, he could do all kinds of stuff. Everything that could have a voice activated sensor in the house, I bought and replaced everything. I put a Ring doorbell in, so that way, somebody would come into the house, He could speak out to them, and it would record who it is. Like every single thing I could possibly get to kind of give him a smart home to make his life seem normal, I did immediately. I just immediately did it.
Dude, I think you mean a lot to him too, then.
Yeah. I'm like his little brother, because like when he met me, I was like, when he started dating my sister, man, I was like 7 or 8. No, it had to be 8 because my dad had just he met my sister 30 days after my dad passed away.
Wow.
And so I was around 8 years old. So yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, thank God for everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been really good to be in my life, because not having my dad around, having good male figures with him and my grandfather, were a real blessing to me. It kept me level. My dad was not a good person at all. He died of cirrhosis of the liver, drunk himself to death. When people always say sometimes, "Hey, I'm an alcoholic," I was like, "Dude, no, you're not."
Yeah.
My dad would get out of bed every morning and his hands would shake like this because he didn't have alcohol in the system. And he would drink rubbing alcohol. He didn't care if it would kill him. Whatever he had to get to kind of drink, he would do that. He was a severe alcoholic, and he would tear the house up and beat my mom. He would try to beat me. He would beat my sister. He was a terrible person. Terrible person. And so not having a good male figure in my life, it was really difficult for me as a child for a long time. I was a problem child for quite a bit. And having my grandfather step in and having my brother-in-law, it changed all that for me. So I don't think if I didn't have them, I would probably have fallen into the trap of committing crimes like a lot of people, in my tribe do in here, because it's very low income and just, there's not a lot of opportunity. I think I'd have just went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Pretty easily without them. So it's he means a lot to me, more than I could probably sum up in any words. So
dude, I'm glad they were there for you, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that person when they,
Yeah. You got to cherish that time with it, man. And it's pretty cool. One thing I like to show too is just,
yeah, man.
This is pretty much my first comic book. As a kid, I was a big He-Man guy, and you would get these little records, these little RPM records that would come with these books.
Yeah.
And you would get the little story that goes along with it, and it's a little comic book that Maytel would put out. And I had a number of these. This is the very first one I had before they had the comic shop or anything else. This was kind of my very first comic book, man. And I still got it. And the little RPM records that come with it. It was just kind of like a read-along thing.
Dude, I remember those, man. Come on. Yeah. Of course, dude.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah, it came with the record player and everything.
Yep.
No, the record, not the actual record player.
1983, man. The funny thing is, Alfredo Alacala did this cover, and he did a lot of work in Savage Sword of Conan with Buscema. And so I thought that was pretty interesting, because that kind of what led me to collecting Conan. It's kind of upgraded from He-Man to the more adult Conan stuff.
Yeah.
So Conan is one of the ones on my short list that I actually collect a lot of, because got really into Savage Sword of Conan. I loved it. Loved it. I think I have number 2 somewhere.
Javi's a big fan of Conan.
Yeah, I have a lot of the magazines.
Yeah, not to Javi's.
What's up?
I love Conan too, but not to you.
Oh, yeah.
I had my number 2 right here somewhere. I must have left it in the other room. But yeah, mine beat up really bad, because people always ask me, "You got Savage Sword?" I got duplicates, but they're all horrible, man, because I read the crap out of them. But I mean, there's a lot of great Buscema stuff in that, and Frazetta stuff, and so many good artists.
All the greats worked on Conan. It's just it was an excuse for them to practice their art and to kind of go all out.
And I didn't have number 2. Number 1, my first Savage Sword magazine was number 2, and first thing I ever owned with Neil Adams. Neil Adams did a cover number 2. So, yeah.
Dude, you know your shit, dude. You've been away for a long time, but you fucking know your goddamn shit.
I love comics, man. I spent so much time with it. It's weird to me that I'm not like a big Spawn fan, because when I first started getting collecting was early 90s in the shop. And, you know, every time Spawn would come out, they would give me an issue and I would read it and I would love it. And I do love Spawn. It's just not like high on my list, but being around late 80s, early 90s, I fell in love with the Death of Superman run.
Yeah.
That is some of the best Superman stuff, next to that and John Byrne's Man of Steel. I love that Superman content. And that Superman's high on my list for that. Batman's number one for me just because Michael Keaton's movie was just changed me, man. A funny story is I've always been a chubby guy. I was a fat kid, man. I was a real fat kid. And I was so like depressed. My mom bought me the Batman utility belt, the yellow belt that they had selling. I couldn't wear it, man, because I was too and I was like crying. It was because I was too fat to buckle it, man. But I still I would buckle it and put it around my shoulder and stuff. And so that movie made me a huge Batman fan. And later, coming home in the afternoons and watching Power Rangers and X-Men TAS and Batman TAS and all that stuff, that really made me a Batman lover, watching the animated series. But, you know, Superman's high on my list too, so I collect a lot of Superman too.
Who's your favorite Superman, dude?
Who's my favorite Superman?
Yeah.
Definitely probably Reeves, man.
It's gotta be, right?
I don't think there's an option. Yeah, Henry was on his way, but they burned that so bad.
Yeah, they cut that short.
Yeah, I mean, they took the storyline I just talked about and crushed it into like a fourth of a movie and ruined it. I mean, the Superman Doomsday stuff and then build up to that, and Superman's fight with Doomsday, his death, his return in that black suit with the long hair and the silver logo. All that shit is just so good, and they wasted all of it. I'm like, oh my god, dude! It hurt my heart, man. God, it hurt my heart.
I could see it, dude. I could see the love that you have for it, and then they let you down.
Big time, man. Because
I just finished reading All-Star Superman. Did you like that?
Oh yeah, people, you know, Grant's stuff is really good. Frank's work on the art
it's unique.
It's unique. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it too, dude. I love Quietly.
Quietly is really good, man. That's the complaint I hear about that, but nobody complains about that story. All-Star Superman is one of the best, like, compact stories for Superman out there. It really is. But Frank Quietly stuff is just kind of, it's different. But yeah. I think it suits the writing.
Definitely.
So
I love it. I love Frank Quietly.
Yeah, that was great. Did you read the Absolute Edition by chance?
No, just the graphic, the trade paperback, the one that has all 12 issues in it.
Sure. If you get a chance to get the Absolute someday, get it. So many good nuggets of extras in there about its development and some things that they were going to do differently. I won't spoil it, but yeah, check it out, man. Definitely. That's why I love those Absolutes. You get all these nuggets of different things and that you don't get anywhere else, like art pieces they use to develop certain objects in the books, and just crazy stuff, man. It's
who played Superman in the 50s in the 50s show? Was it Reeves?
The show?
Yeah, was it Steve Reeves?
I don't know.
I put this is why I put Cavill as the third, dude. I think the guy in the 50s, I think it was Reeves in the TV show, and then I put what's his name?
George Reeves.
George
Reeves, that's what it was.
That guy was great. And then oh my god, I've had too much.
Reeves.
Yeah. What's his name?
Christopher Reeves, right?
Was it?
Was it Christopher?
It was Christopher. They can't all be Reeves.
No. I know there was a Christopher Reeves. Man, I'm getting him confused with something else.
That's much to drink.
Yeah.
Was it Christopher Reeves? I guess it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I think he was the best, dude. That guy was fucking phenomenal, dude.
Yeah, Brandon Routh was pretty bad. That 2006.
Oh yeah,
Those
Superman.
movies were so bad.
Reed and Reeves, right. Christopher Reeves was the 70s and 80s. George Reed is the 50s.
Reed.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
too
okay.
close.
So, yeah, George was great, man. Reeves was amazing, and then Kane wasn't bad on the
That
TV.
show, that show wasn't bad at all, man. No, it wasn't bad at all. I mean, I tell you what, though, I really loved this the guy that played Lex Luthor in the old movies. God, why am I blanking his name?
Oh my god, yes, dude, I'm freaking.
It's like on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, he did. He was Popeye Doyle. What's his name? That guy's great.
Yeah, but he was a really good Lex Luthor.
I thought he was excellent. I didn't mind the Lex Luthor in the recent movies. I didn't mind him at all. I like that kid.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but it's like when I think of like Lex Luthor, I think of like
an older guy.
Like I think of the villain from Die Hard 1. Like that guy is like the best, like pinnacle to me of like a smart, intelligent, like high class villain. Yeah, Gene Hackman. So that I kind of look at that concept in my head as that. So
who's your favorite Batman?
Probably Keaton, man.
Yeah.
Keaton. And then Conroy for the voice. I'd probably put Conroy above the other Batmans and then Keaton above him, man. So I remember going to the movies, watching this and buying the VHS tape of this bad boy. Man, I was in love with this. This thing, you can see it was my reader copy. Because when you bought the VHS, the collectors, they gave you the little comic book to go with it. And I still got this, man. And mine's beat the crap because I read this thing over and over and over.
Best ones, bro.
I remember going to the movies and watching Mask of Phantasm. Oh my god, dude! That show is just I can't describe how much I love it. It's great.
It's a great show, yeah.
Gosh, it's really good. Paul Dini's stuff with Batman is great. So anytime I get to see Paul Dini working on, I think he's helping with the new comic book that's out now. The animated series returns or continues or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
He's working with that, and he did some stuff in Batman Black and White. He's popped around here and there, and I think Paul Dini as a writer for Batman is undersought out after a lot. People focus a lot on some of these other writers that are out now, but Paul Dini worked really heavily to develop so many things, including Harley Quinn. So
yep.
Dude, it's funny how you always gravitate to the cartoons when you were a kid.
Yeah, always. Because they get so embedded in your head.
They get it embedded because you watch them so many times. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But then
it was like religion to me. If I didn't get home every day and watch Power Rangers, Batman, and X-Men, I was going to lose my shit, every day, man.
When I was a kid, I would get up I think we had to be at school at 7:30. I would be up at 6 watching the old Batman 66.
Oh,
this is pre-cable. This is pre-cable. We only had like 4 channels. On the local channel, they played the Batman from 66 from 6 to 7. So you would get the first half, and then you would get the religion at 6 o'clock. I had to be up to see my fucking Batman. Then after that, it was Star Blazers, the old Spider-Man, and to me, those are the best.
90s Spider-Man was really good to me too. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, bro. I love the 66, and it's horrible, but I still love it the best. It's what the cartoons you see when a kid. My favorite Batman cartoon, they used to do this thing on Saturday mornings in the 70s, and it was half the Batman and the other half was Tarzan. And those are some of the greatest cartoons I've ever seen. But again, they embedded, man. Embedded.
Did you ever watch that Thor? I've seen clips of that Thor animated short they did, or series.
The cartoons?
Yeah.
when oh my god, when Donald Blake hits his thing and
Yeah, I've seen it on YouTube, but
Mighty Shield, all those.
yeah.
Those are amazing. And then Tony Stark was like the Playboy Tony Stark. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, dude, they're horrible. I freaking love them to death, and I could watch those because I loved them as a kid. I mean, I couldn't. It's like you guys were saying, you couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah.
You couldn't get enough of it.
I couldn't, man. I was obsessed with that stuff, man. Every day. Power Rangers was such a big part of my childhood watching that stuff. Surprised I don't collect any of it now, but man, I was all into that too. So,
see, you know what? My thing was Power Rangers. I can't stand Power Rangers because that's when like my kids were young.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, my son Ryan, he was. I got like a whole photo album of just him in his Red Ranger outfit. You know, and I had that movie on loop in the house. Where I gag. It's like, dude, enough. And yeah, I'm not the biggest Power Ranger fan, but I love looking at that album and seeing him. And because the other day he was here and he goes, "My God, is that my little Power Ranger album?" And you know, and you see him now, and he's no Power Ranger now. He's got dreads. He didn't turn into a Power Ranger, but yeah, it's freaking all that shit's great, dude. I'm surprised, Paul. You got a freaking ton of knowledge, man. Shit.
I try, man. I get too involved with stuff. That's all it is.
You wake up
with my job, man. I get like super zoned in on my job, and it's just like
you have an interesting job.
Yeah. I do cyber crimes investigation, and that's an interesting job. So,
how did you get into that?
It's badass.
I kind of stumbled into it. So in high school, I started doing a lot of like IT, like labs and certifications, because I didn't want to go to college, and I didn't go to college. So I got like certificates and started working with, on the job training type stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of went from there, and I wanted to be in the security field. So I got a lot of security certs, and I wound up getting a job, defense contracting in like 2004. And so I started doing a lot of government work and learning more about cybersecurity and stuff. And so after that, I wound up working for different like state agencies. And then I worked for a municipality and a police department in their crime intel, and did that for a while. And just now I'm doing it for the private sector. So it's more if a customer has like a data breach, or they think an employee stealing intellectual property, or I'll go do like forensics on the machine or investigate it and stuff so they can move forward on a court case or do whatever they need to do to kind of investigate or file for insurance. A lot of times it's that after a company's like hacked or something, I go through and do the investigation and lay it all out so they can file that against their cyber insurance to get money to help, because they're probably going to get sued by somebody because of the data breach. So
let me ask you, is business booming?
Yeah, it's probably more busy than it's been probably in the last 5 years.
Wow.
4 years. Yeah, it's pretty busy. It's nonstop.
Everyone's on their computers now, man.
You would think that's where
business is on a computer.
Yeah.
You would think that's where crooks and thieves have moved to, right?
Yeah. They have a lot. So, I mean, my job's changed a whole lot. I used to like focus in on like cases where people are like missing or someone's been kidnapped or something like that. And I'm like looking at like geolocation data on like their apps or stuff like that to kind of help collect data. And now it's more of kind of like looking to see what's happened. A lot of times it's like ransomware stuff. A lot of that's going on. It's getting to the point now people are just being destructive. I had a client that some guy went in, he breached one of their partners. He laterally moved through their network to my client's network, and he just went in and just destroyed everything. Deleted stuff, broke a lot of systems, took down a lot of stuff, took down their sheriff's department, their police department, and didn't ever ask for a ransom, which is weird. No, not one.
What's the success rate on these cases, man?
Like finding who did it.
Yeah, like
The success rate is high of us finding out how it happened.
finding out how it happened, that's fairly high, I would think, right?
Yeah, finding who did it. Usually, we get to a point where it's okay. This didn't happen here from the U.S. and what
Can't
do you
really do anything, and yeah.
Do you find it more stuff coming from overseas?
Yeah,
Really?
probably 9 times out of 10. If it's local to the U.S., 9 times out of 10, it's a disgruntled employee.
Mm.
Yeah, that's usually if you find it and someone's in the U.S., it's somebody that's tied to the business. They got fired and they didn't disable their access, or I had one guy that got fired. They disabled his access, but he had a different account they just didn't disable, but it didn't take his key fob. So he came in that night, used his key fob, went in, plugged in a USB that had some corrupt malware on it, infected the whole network, and took down their business. So
that's fucking crazy.
He's in prison. So
People gotta freak, huh?
Huh?
People have to freak.
Yeah.
It's like somebody breaking into your house.
Basically, yeah.
It's basically the same shit.
Yep, they go in and do all types of stuff, man. It's the craziest one I had, and I had these calls once in a while. Somebody will call my company, and it's not my business, it's a company I work for. And it's like, hey, we've got some weird stuff going on, and we don't know. We think somebody's in our network. We don't know. So then I have to go and investigate if somebody's really there or not. So the weirdest thing I ever had was we set up these things called honeypots. They're these fake machines to see if somebody will come into the machine. So I had a customer that's in department. They're like a local energy company. And somebody was going in and reversing some of kind of the substations they had and causing outages. They're just disrupting power, doing like weird stuff. I don't know all how that stuff works, but they're in there messing with it. But they didn't know if it was a virus or a person. And so we went in, and it would always happen like early in the morning. So we knew it's probably someone maybe overseas.
Right.
So we set up this honeypot, and this guy tried to log into it. And basically all of a sudden I seen the mouse started moving around, stuff like that. And I pulled up a little text pad window or notepad window and started typing, and the guy started responding to me. I said, "We know you're in here now." He said, I knew someone would eventually. And he's carried on a whole conversation with me in English. And yeah. And so we wound up shutting his access out, traced his IP, and his IP was basically part of this VPN network that was tied to the dark web. So he was just using a Tor browser to get access to the internet. So God knows where he was at. So we didn't take it that far.
You've been on the dark web?
Yeah, I've been on there before. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ashton Kutcher has an application. So Ashton Kutcher, he invested in a lot of companies, the actor. He has a product called Thorn that he gives to a lot of local police departments. And I've worked with the application before. And it's used to help kind of find human trafficking that's going on. And so we've used that before, and it connects to the dark web and scrapes a lot of information and collects data to try to track down certain information, because a lot of human trafficking is probably the number one crime that's committed globally. And so he developed a piece of software to try to assist law enforcement, state agencies to do cyber investigations to help find missing people who've been kidnapped and are now part of a human trafficking ring. And so that application goes on to the dark web and like scrapes and grabs, data.
That's insane. That's crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking out. That's so out there, dude.
Yeah, there's stuff on there you don't want to ever see or don't want in your mind and stuff like that. That's why I've kind of got out of the state agency type work, because it's not good for your mental health.
Yeah.
Seeing kids being kidnapped, people being murdered, things like that is. I don't have the mind to that. Some people do. That doesn't bother them, but I I don't sleep well with that stuff, and so I got out of that and started focusing more on.
Bro, you're a Superman, Batman guy. You're like for justice, you know. You can't.
Yeah.
No, you don't want to get that in your head, dude. You don't want to get those images in your head.
Now, the work you're doing though brings like real good, satisfaction because you're helping save people's lives or lead to like their capture of people who have committed these crimes against them. So that was rewarding in that sense, but it was daunting mentally. And
how far do you get to? Do you get to see the resolution? Do you get to, or you just?
I get told about it, stuff like that, because I was part of a team. So my part of it was a small part of a lot of people doing a lot of different things, right? So a lot of times my part may be just, okay, you took an Instagram photo, you have your location services turned on. I take the Instagram photo off your Instagram page. I grab your geolocation of where you took that photo. I then find the address and give it to the next guy who goes and tries to find you. That kind of.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
There's a tool out there called Creepy. That's funny, his name. You can look it up on the internet called Creepy. You can take an Instagram photo, and it's an open source tool, and put it in there. Most people don't know their location data on Instagram is turned on by default. And so every time you take a photo, it tags where you took that photo at.
Wow.
And so it takes it out of your GPS, out of your phone, say here, here, and here, you took it here. Because that's why when you take it, it tells you were at this location. And so I can take that metadata, run it through that tool, and I can follow tracks of where you've been in that day and find out probably in the vicinity where you are.
That's fucking crazy. Listen to this. This happened to me yesterday.
Sometime this week.
It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. Or no, Monday. No, I think it was yesterday. I went to Target, right? I'm looking at like the pops and I'm looking like in a section like the sports, and I'm right by the records, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got the albums, and I look at an album and I look at the album and it's like, oh shit, I haven't seen this album in so long. And I started looking at the songs, right? I never took out my phone, nothing. It was Meatloaf's "Bat Out of Hell."
Nice.
Right? And I'm looking at it. I go, "Fuck, man! I remember this fucking album. I gotta look at these songs up because I haven't heard them in a long time." I didn't say it. I didn't fucking say it out loud. I didn't. I was by myself, dude. Yesterday afternoon, I go on YouTube and there's a fucking thing there. Where I just went to, like, where it shows me everything coming up. And there's a fucking "Bat Out of Hell" fucking there, the full album. How fucking is that? Is that coincidence?
Probably not.
I didn't take out my phone. I didn't take a picture. I never seen that on my YouTube page before. Not on mine, but you know what I'm saying. When I just look up stuff, it was just everything that came up. And there's a fucking "Bat Out of Hell" fucking full album on there. I fucking freaked.
Yeah. There's a lot of retargeting going on, but if you didn't search it, that's probably not it. So there's this thing called a retargeting pixel that goes on your machine. So if I go look up Coca-Cola, right? And I go to a Coca-Cola page, Coca-Cola is going to put a cookie on my machine as a retargeting. So when I go to social media,
it pops up.
They can brand.
But I didn't do anything like that. I just looked at the goddamn album, and the album showed up on my YouTube, dude.
That's crazy, man.
I was like,
they're targeting you.
But I didn't do nothing. My phone was in my pocket. Yeah. I don't know, dude. I just freaked out. Biggie had a question for you. Oh my God. What do you think about the PayPal stuff going on first? I don't know what that's all about.
It's not. So I had my PayPal limited. I finally figured out what happened. So they shut my PayPal down. That's why I'm using a different one. So they're cracking down on friends and family a lot. So here's what happened. And it took me a while. I had to contact so many people to give me an answer. Why did you shut down my PayPal? Because all they would tell me is, you've abused our friends and family. And so you violate our terms of service. You can no longer use PayPal. And I've been trying to figure out, okay, why and what happened. So here's what happened. The guy bought a book for me off Instagram, and he paid me via an Instagram, a PayPal e-check. I didn't even know you could do that. So he basically it's an electronic check from his bank through PayPal to me. It went through, but they didn't clear the first time. And it said, and PayPal sent me a message saying, hey, we're going to try and retrieve the funds from his account again. And he just, I messaged him, hey, it failed. He's like, well, I'll just pay you friends and family from my card. So he did. He's like, I don't know how to get this to cancel. I was like, I don't either. He calls PayPal, tells them, hey, I'm trying to buy this comic book from this guy. And I sent an e-check, and he explains the whole thing to them. Say, cancel the e-check. 2 days later, I get my PayPal shut down because he unintentionally ratted me out that he was buying goods and services from me via friends and family. And I do tons of transactions on there, so they probably assumed I'm doing that all the time. And so they went ahead and probably maybe looked at some of the notes because some people put their address in notes, and they killed my PayPal. So now I'm using my girl's PayPal.
I need to know all this now that I'm selling books. So.
Yeah. So that's what happened. He unintentionally kind of, snitched on me. So, and it's not his fault. He didn't think
he wasn't thinking. He was just trying to get the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how many times I fucked up when I'm
PayPal is just like, man, they're just horrible, dude. They're horrible. So you got to be careful if you're going to do it and do friends and family. And I'm using other payment methods now too to just kind of not only use PayPal. So
dude, not for nothing, but I've always heard you say those fucking eBay charges, and I got into eBay, right? And I'm like, oh, dude, what charges? What the fuck are they talking about? I don't know what the charges are. This is fucking great.
They hit you at the end of the month, bro.
No fucking way.
When you get that invoice at the end of the month.
Now I know that, and I had to fucking pay that shit. And it's like, now I get it, because I was doing it, and it was like, dude, I ain't getting charged nothing. This is fucking great. This is awesome.
And they set you up by giving you'll do those first initial posts throughout the month, and at the end it says $0. They didn't charge you nothing to post it. They get you with that, but when that cut comes in, dude, I sold like a $2,500 book on eBay, dude. They took a huge amount of that book. Basically took my profit because I bought the book high and only had a small margin to make money on it, and they took most of that margin.
So you pretty much
yeah.
Dude, that hit me yesterday because I started going, let me see what the fuck, and I found it. And I go, oh shit, I owe this much.
Yeah, man.
So
the more you sell, the more they take out. It's crazy.
Yeah, I basically sold a book, probably the most expensive book I sold all month, paid those fucking fees.
Lucha, you'd be better off taking a picture of it on your Instagram, post on your Instagram and say it's for sale with a price and tell people to DM. You'd do way better just doing that, because I posted those videos of the toys this past weekend. I sold almost 50 toys not even an hour after I posted that.
Dude,
so I put tags on that stuff, Star Wars toys, stuff like that. People would do my DMs just lit up. Hey, you got this, Can I get all these toys and stuff? Dude, I sold them all. Not all of them, but sold.
Hey, let me know if you have any Beast Wars toys.
I do have a lot of Beast Wars. I haven't pulled them out yet, though. Yeah.
Let me know.
You know what was cool? I was getting interviewed on Hero and the Kid, man, and they did this fucking awesome thing where they almost roasted me with the other guys. And I go, what's up with Kenny, dude? He's not really paying attention. What the fuck? And all I hear is the tape. And I go, oh, this motherfucker's fucking getting his fucking everything so bad, getting it ready.
You got to be speedy with your delivery, man.
Dude. Hey, I mailed everything out on Monday, dude. I was just like,
I
got tape all over the place. I bought extra tape. I bought extra wrap.
Did you get the Black Panther slab in yet?
Oh, I hadn't checked. It might have came today. I didn't get to check. So
I sent you the track.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it today. But yeah, I got Transformer toys. I got a few TMTs. I have some TMNT soft shell 100s, like the original soft shell toys. But I only have 2 of them, and I'm giving them to Who Dat. Like that's gonna be my AOK and some other stuff to him. Yeah, he's already getting them. He ain't got to pay for them. They're really rare, but Who Dat's a cool dude, man.
Who Dat
some hardcore toys.
Who Dat's a big seller too, man.
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah, he's OG.
Who Dat's I don't think people realize, man, he's a very selfless guy.
Yeah.
when I started selling, he realized like kind of the stuff I'm selling, and we started talking. He's become a good friend. And the reason I've been on all these other auctions is because Hudats took me and introduced me to all the auction people.
Nice.
So they all know me because Hudats like, yo, check him out. Da 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 da. Hudats good people, man.
He is good people. We had him on here, man. He's real good fucking people.
Yeah.
And he's big in the freaking auction game, and he's focused on what he wants.
Oh yeah, man. The guy is crazy. Like, I've never seen a guy get all the stuff he got. I mean, he gets stuff to raffles, flipping stuff. I mean, he target what he wants and he gets it, dude. And his PC is what he wants it to be, and he's done an awesome job at it, man. He's a raffle king, man. I was on a raffle doing something, man, and he just popped in, put his name on the raffle, wasn't even really trying to go after it at the end, and won it.
He's got the good luck, man.
Yeah, Hudat is a master at the raffles, man. I suck at him. I suck at the raffles.
Dude, you're freaking good, dude. I've been watching you, dude.
Man, I got good stuff, man. I try to.
You do.
I try to position myself because I'm not trying to sell books on here for eBay prices. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm gonna let it out, Hudat. I try to understand stuff. You know, people want deals, and I try to put it in a position so they could get books at a good deal. So I'm kind of like maximizing my stuff, and you know, it's going good. You know, Javi has good stuff too, man. I've been buying from Javi. I don't buy from a lot of people. I've been buying from him, man.
Dude, you brought me first. I forget.
Yeah, I'm from too now. So yeah, Javi knows kind of what I want, man. He's been getting good stuff, and he's built me some really good boxes so far, and so I've been really happy with the stuff he's been getting. It's right up my alley. I collect DC, man.
You're a big DC.
All like the Bronze Age DC good.
Bronze Age DC, man, is like my sweet spot, dude. Like, I've got a lot of silver already. I'm getting more of it, and I've got a lot of gold too, and definitely trying to get more of that. But yeah, like the Bronze Age, I love reading those stories, man.
They're really good.
Dude, not for nothing. One of my favorite people on YouTube, and I've talked to him a few times, and I really fucking love this guy, dude. And I loved him since the first time I saw him, and he was on with Biggie. Is Man Cave. I fucking love him.
Man Cave's, man. I talk to Parm probably almost every day. He calls me.
He's such a good person, bro.
He's a good guy, man. He loves comics. He's got great knowledge. I hate sometimes that I met him because now my golden fever is like much worse.
That's what I was gonna get at, dude. I see it, like Parm started with Biggie, but I almost see him like a friendly rival of yours now.
Dude, we compete. It's funny. Here's a funny.
You do. I know you do.
We were bidding on stuff on Heritage, man, against each other by accident, just stuff like that. We're always chasing things, and we're always having that conversation. Like, what's next on your list? Like right now, my target. Now I got the Batman 11 on the way. My next target is to get Action Comics 23 because that's an important book because it's Lex Luthor's first appearance.
Wow.
I have Lex's first cover appearance, but I don't have his first appearance. And a lot lately, it's been going for a much better price online. So it's like Action Comics 23 is like on my list now. So we talk about stuff like that. Like he has good strategy around like when to go after a book, where to go after that book, what of that book you need to go after. Because he was like, okay, collectors are going to go for this style, or this book's coming out and it's going to be trimmed a little bit. It doesn't look bad. So you should target that one because they're not going to have the bid's not going to go up very high. Like the guy's very smart about how to get that book.
Yeah, very analytic.
That people forget about. Like they just say, like, I'm going to save up and get it. He's very strategic in when to get it, what sells best to get it. Like he'll like look for a book, and because it's on another sale and all these other books are there, he'll know, okay, I can get that book now. So Man Cave, man, he's crazy, man. He's smart.
His books, the books that he pulls out are leave me breathless. You know, they're not what I collect. I'm not in that same realm, and they still leave me freaking breathless.
Yeah, all his early Namors that he has, man, those are.
Yeah, they're beautiful, man. I love that timely stuff, man. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, dude. He's made me appreciate it more. Honest to God, I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
Not yet.
Not yet, right? You got to sell a couple more books, and then.
No, I already got my sights on certain things, and I stay in my lane. But dude, I appreciate Man Cave, man, because when I have talked to him, and we've talked of quite a bit. Like the other day, he called me, and I was actually at a shop, and we talked the whole way home, and it was like a 40-minute ride coming back from the shop, and it felt like it went like that, dude, because he's always so positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I have some things working in the background. I have some property that my grandfather left me, and it's in the middle of nowhere, so you can't do anything with it. It's in swampland, basically, in North Carolina. So you can't really do anything with it. But what it does have, it has a bunch of timber on it. So I'm selling a lot of the timber off of it, starting later this month. So if hurricanes don't delay things, I should be able to get that going. So I've been talking to him a lot because my strategy with that is, hey, this is going to be my opportunity to get the Batman one. And so I talked to him a lot about that strategy, like what grade should I go after and what should I wait on, what should I do, that kind of thing. So
what year was Batman 1?
1941, is it? Is it 41? Something like that.
Yeah, so it's early. It's got to be somewhere early in the 40s.
Yeah, I think it's 41.
Javi, find out because I know the detective. Is that the one where they're both like swinging?
Yeah, well, they're swinging in both of them. So in Tech 27 in that, aren't they? Yeah, the yellow cover is the Batman one. So
1940.
40. Okay, 40. I knew it was somewhere around there. Yeah, the reason I want to get that book is, man, I don't think I'll ever be able to afford a Tech 27. And for me, a Batman 1 fits in the will space a little bit more because it's Batman's first ongoing solo series, but it's also first Joker and first Catwoman. So to me, that's a bigger key.
That's a massive.
But don't get me wrong, first appearance of Batman is nothing to laugh at. But but yet, first appearance of Joker too. To me, getting that and maybe getting second appearance of Batman will be good enough for me. So.
I think it will, dude. I know which one you're talking about because his first appearance is just him, and the second one isn't it with him and Robin? Is that what it is?
I think something like that. So yeah, 2029 is the one Man Cave has is the second, right. I believe. Yeah,
dude, those are some massive books, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Those are massive books.
Once I get past Batman 1, then I'll focus on some big Silver Age Marvel keys that I'm missing. So, because I got a lot of Silver Age DC stuff. I just got another Silver DC I'll be showing Friday on the hunt.
You do a lot of CGC too, right?
Lately, I have been. In the past, I haven't. It's a lot of stuff I've had for a while. I've been sending off for grading and stuff like that.
You'd rather buy it raw?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
I'd rather buy it raw, clean it up, press it, get in better shape, and then slab it because it improves the value of what I paid for it. I'm getting better at judging what it might be, and so I can buy it cheaper, slab it, and get an improvement on my value. So
I've done that also, man. But do you do that online, or do you have to have the?
No, I'd do it in person. I don't do it
because I've done that online, man, but it's risky.
It is risky, especially like I did that a lot with my pre-code horror stuff because a lot of like EC horror titles are 36 pages. 8 physical pages on each side of the staple. So I do a page count. I check each page. Like I do all that stuff.
Yeah.
To make sure I'm kind of in check because you'll miss stuff and people online they won't show you everything sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah. They'll be missing a page and you don't even know it. So especially with Golden Age stuff, page count is important to do that. So look up what the page count is, count the pages, check for resto. I've got burned even in person. I bought a high grade Invincible Iron Man #1 first Iron Man Solo series or whatever after the Submariner Iron Man issue.
Right.
Bought that high grade. And that book's very known to have color touch because of that deep blue, purple cover or whatever.
Right.
I didn't check. That's the one thing I didn't check when I bought it was for color touch. Got home and checked it, color touch all over the cover. I was like, gosh, it happens.
We've all been burned, man. Everybody's made mistakes.
Yeah. I trusted the seller, and he was like, yeah, there ain't no color touch on it. I've already checked it. Sure enough, it did.
Dude, everybody's been burned.
Yeah.
I bought books, and it's like, dude, and the minute you buy it, it's like, I shouldn't have bought it.
Yeah.
Bought it, and then you get it, and it's like, damn, dude, why did I buy that?
What am I going to do now? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the right, not because of color touch or restored, it's just not the right book you want for whatever reason. I bought a book once, and I still got the book, and it's like, I shouldn't have spent the money. I should have, and the staples just like pushed in. And it's like, dude, that bothers the fuck out of me, man. And anybody else will look at the book and it'll probably be fine, but it's like, that's little shit. I should have waited. You get anxious, and you
get buyer's remorse.
Yeah, thank God I haven't had a ton, but you do have it. The thing about buyer's remorse is like, that's what you remember the most, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like a pick in your side, like an ice pick in your side. It just turns. It's like that fucking book.
Yeah, I've done that a lot, especially if I'm like, I shouldn't have paid that for that book, and I've overpaid because it was there in front of me, and I was looking for the book for forever, and it was right there, so I overpaid for it. So
yeah,
and you did it anyway.
I did it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we all have those stories, man. I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah.
What do you see for your YouTube channel, man? For your
I gotta get it back on track. I've got this game show idea I've been thinking about and working on for quite a while. I've got to get that back and get it back in motion. So that's one thing. I want to continue doing my art appreciation videos because that was fun, and then do pickups and hauls and stuff like that too. I want to do more collection buy stuff. I didn't get to do it this last one, but the one I'm working on, the guy's comfortable with me recording, and I feel comfortable with sharing more details about it because I feel like a lot of guys are interested in buying collections, but they don't kind of know the pitfalls of some of the process and stuff like that. So I want to take people through that process, show them what I did to review the collection, the negotiation between me and him, how we settled on it, how I'll make my money back, or what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to slab. I want to kind of go into detail about that stuff, and I think I feel comfortable with this next one. I can do that.
I think that's a great idea, man. Because a lot of people. What's the biggest collection you've ever bought?
The one I got when I first started selling on 84s is probably the big one. There was about 6,000 comics in.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that one had, and I was selling, man. There's tons of silver. If you go back and watch the first auction I was on with 84, man, I was selling large lots of Captain America silver, Strange Tales.
Fire! It's like, dude, where's this guy getting all these books, man?
Fantastic Four. Every stack was silver, just stacks of silver.
I was watching that, and I was like, where's this guy getting these books? Is somebody giving him? Is he selling for a store? Like, how did you get all these freaking books? What's up?
Yeah, I bought them out of that collection, man.
That's crazy. Look at my cousin George with the lurking, dude. Nice, dude.
Hey, cheers, George.
Cheers, George. Cheers. We're almost at the end. Oh my God, dude, we've almost gone 2 hours. Wow.
I love when you're realizing that.
I'm telling you, man. Every show we start, it's like the first half hour. It's like you're feeling yourself out. And then you look and it's like, oh my God, dude, it's almost freaking 2 hours in. What the fuck?
Yeah, it just turns loose, right?
It's crazy, man. But dude, okay, I guess we're getting close to the end. Dude, first edition, thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for inviting me on. I appreciate you bringing me on, Hialeah and Javi as well too, and I've enjoyed it.
Dude, it was great
Awesome,
getting to know you, man. It's been too long, and this was awesome. It's great. I mean it. It's great getting to know you, bro, because I really didn't know a whole lot. And I think I know you a hell of a lot more. And I'm glad Kenny took you under his wing and brought your ass in.
Yeah, him and Biggie jumped me in NWO style, and then everybody else started finding out who I am.
Now you're everywhere, man. God
Yeah, I mean, you're a great part of the community. We didn't even get to touch on your birthday bash and
Oh,
how much you were just giving away on that.
Yeah,
Man.
that was
an
a lot of
honor.
fun, man. And I want to do that every year. And I think I'm going to do something like that at Christmas too.
dude, that was a great idea. The great concept with you had to go into the other website and go into it. I thought that was a great idea.
And it's I'm on these auctions a lot, and people come support me. People come support my channel, even though I'm not even doing anything on it right now. People are supporting me everywhere, so it's just me saying thank you. So it was fun to do that.
Definitely, man.
Thanks, Hudat, man. You were one of the early ones. I think you were like our third episode or something, man. But
wow.
Yeah, dude. Hudat was here a while back. I think this is 38, so we're getting on up there, man. So you got anything coming up on your channel? I know you got plans, but nothing specific so far, right?
I got these 2 books I need to show that I got to time correctly because I need to stage it right with the hunt. So we'll see how the hunt goes later this week. And I've got some videos for these books that I'm going to present up, but I got that coming, and I've got something I've had planned for a while with a person from the wrestling community that I'm going to bring on.
Nice.
To kind of do this live show and talk about comics and wrestling. So that should be coming soon. Should be able to announce that probably in a week or 2. So.
Awesome, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you got going on. Javi, you got anything? I think you got something big on Silver Age Sunday this week, don't you?
Yeah, we're going to do our breakfast SmackDown challenge on Silver Age Sunday this Sunday. That's going to be a fun time. And Hialeah, hopefully, we can get together and maybe we can do a Hialeah Comic Bro auction sometime soon.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. It might be a different kind of time, so if we'll throw it out there and see how it goes. We don't know. We might have another guest seller that I'm super excited about. It just might be not appropriate for everybody's time zone.
All right, we'll work it out. But
in the process.
Yeah.
And next week, man, our guest next week is going to be the Geek Aficionado on Inquiring Minds. So please tune in for that. Geek will be on with us, and he just got a recent massive haul, man, back from CGC, which I was blown away.
Yeah. He's doing some good CPR work on that stuff.
Yeah. We're going to have him on next week, and tune into Silver Age Sunday. I will not be able to make it this Sunday. I'm sorry, Javi. I'm going to be out.
It's all good, man. You haven't been making it in a while, so we expect
guys on this week. I popped into the background. I saw all those people. I go, I'll watch from the chat, man. It was like,
bro, we have room for 10, so
dude, it was packed, man. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody on the replay, thank you. Please like, subscribe to Conquistadorks, to First Edition, to Hialeah Comic Bro. 3 great channels, 2 great channels, and me. Thank you so much. Stay safe, and guys, we'll see you next week. And so long from the Sunshine State, guys. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.